This is the Epson EcoTank ET-3850 printer. Let's open this up and see what we've got. Looks like there's lots of ink, even some extra on the black. This is a really popular printer at Costco and on Amazon. I got this one on sale at Costco, but you can definitely buy it on Amazon as well, and I'll be sure to post a link in the description so you can check it out there and read some of the reviews as well. So I just pulled off all the tape, and now I just want to show you these instructions. Feel free to pause at any time so you can read through them and kind of get a feel of what the scope is of setting this up. And I'm going to go through each step and show you the process as well. So definitely keep watching and you can see exactly how to go through each of these steps. I chose to use the mobile device option to set it up. So I'm going to show you how to do it using the app. So first you need to go download the app from the App Store called Epson Smart Panel. You can search for that and then you'll see it there, and you can go ahead and download that and then open it up. Then just go through the initial prompts. Now it's time to turn the printer on. Then just follow what it says on the little screen on the printer. Now go back to the app on your phone and follow the prompts and steps there. So let it search and then choose the top one there, set up a new product. Then continue through all of these steps. It's a bit of a tedious process, but if you just be patient and go through each of these steps through the app, you should definitely be able to get things all set up. It just takes a while. I think overall it took at least 30 minutes. I would probably just set aside at least an hour so you can unwrap everything and go through this whole process, and then be able to run some test pages as well. All right, now it's time to install the ink. So you can review all the steps here as I'm scrolling. And then if you keep watching, I'm going to show you the steps in action so you can see how to do it on the printer itself. And I'll show you each of the ink colors and I'll install each of them into the certain areas that they're supposed to go into the tanks. We'll start with the black. Get some scissors and start by cutting the wrapping off of the black ink bottle. Here are the other colors. You can go ahead and cut the wrapping off of all of these right now while you're at it. Lift up the lid on the ink holder, grab the black ink bottle, open the lid, and then go ahead and just tip it upside down and you'll stick it in the slot there. And then just let it go and you'll see it starting to fill up the reservoir there. You can just wait while it does that. And as you can see, the black one is definitely bigger than the others since that's likely the dominant color you'll use the most. I thought it was nice they give a big bottle for that, and then you get 2 extra bottles with this printer model as well. And it's done. So we'll move on to the next color. I put the lid back on the black ink just to avoid any mess with it leaking. Now we're going for the blue or cyan. Just cutting that open since I didn't do it before. And then it's just the same process. Just take the lid off, open up the slot for the cyan, and then flip it upside down and let it fill up. You'll just have to wait and watch until it's full. I definitely think it's cool that you can see through these little windows essentially, so you can tell if you're running low on ink. So I think that'll be pretty nice in the future. Now we're going to go for the magenta. Cut that one open, and again the same process just to get that one filled up. So far, this process has been pretty smooth. I'm definitely excited to see how long this lasts before I have to refill anything. One of the reasons I got this EcoTank was to avoid having to deal with the HP models or other kinds like the inkjet. Just didn't seem like they were lasting very long or working very well. And so I've read a lot of good things about this one and the EcoTank model and just how efficient it is. So we'll see how that goes after a few years of use. Now we're doing the yellow. Same process. Open it up, put it in the spot there, and watch it fill up. I think this whole process was really just taking a few minutes. I've got this sped up slightly to kind of move things along here with the video, but again, just plan on at least an hour just to open everything up and go through these steps. It just takes some time. Now you can hit next and just let it know that you did fill all the tanks. Now you just want to close the scanner unit as it says and move on to the ink initialization process. This process alone can take about 10 minutes or so. So while it's doing this, it will also allow you to go through the steps to connect printer to your Wi-Fi, which is kind of nice to help with just moving things along as you're waiting. It found my correct network, so I said yes or next. Enter your Wi-Fi password, and then wait for about 2.5 minutes or so for it to connect. And then you can move on to the next step. Next, you can click if you want to register the product or just to skip these steps. I just went ahead and went through the process to register. I went ahead and said yes to update the firmware just to be sure it's the most current version. And of course, as I was going through this, it did not work the first time. But then I was able to try again and actually did it from the printer itself. You'll see that in just a minute here. So that's saying that it failed. And then you'll see that I was able to do it from the printer itself and just go through the steps that way to get it updated. And I think I actually did it later in the settings. As this shows, I just dismissed that and then noticed that it said initialization complete and just continued through the steps here. So you can go through the settings and update the firmware later. So now it's time to go through and just check the print head to get the best quality. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the paper. Figured out you have to squeeze on that blue thing to be able to slide it over. So now just loading the paper in, just making sure it's snug. And then slide the tray in. And you could hit the OK button and it'll do its thing. Now it's printing out a test page. Looks pretty good. And then you just get to follow the steps here on the screen on the printer. So it's going to align the print head. So this just takes a bit to let it do its thing with this, and you'll see it just prints out these different sheets here. And then you just have to look at them and confirm on the screen here if it looks good. Now I'm just showing you that you can use the arrows to move through the different options on the printer, and then you can hit OK to select things. Right now I'm just going through to the settings area to update the firmware, so I definitely recommend that you do that. It takes a little bit to do that as well, and now I think we're ready to just do a test print. And you can use your phone or your computer to do that. And there is some software that you can download from the Epson website onto your computer for a Mac or a PC. So as you can see here, just decided to try out printing my resume in full color. And it looks pretty good. I don't think it's amazing, but good enough. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.